Hello, familia. Hello, friends. I just felt compelled to come talk to you guys today. I'm not home in Panama. I am currently on a trip in Lima, Peru. The reason I felt compelled, you know, um, I post a video every Friday and then I do some shorts showing you guys life in Panama. And a lot of you seem to really enjoy that. So I'll keep doing them. But we are living in some very interesting days. There's a lot of chatter online, on social media. I personally have been intentionally staying away. I don't watch all this is why it happened, how it happened, how they won, how they lost. Water under the bridge, right? It's done. We don't understand why it's done, but it's done. But today the purpose of my chat is just to offer a perspective of steadfastness, a perspective of self-centeredness, right? I'm not Buddhist. I'm not anything anymore. The one thing I know is that there is nothing new under the sun. Evil has always existed. Power grabbers have always existed. Destroyers, people who are self-centered, power hungry, whatever their motive is, they've always existed. And people have always endured and existed and survived, if not strived, okay? I want you to, as I was growing up, I was 18 years old when I came to the US. As I, developed my thinking and seeing life, it took me decades to really understand the dynamics, as I call it, of the world order. And that gave me a perspective that, first, I did not create the problem. Second, I'm not responsible to fix it. Third, I do what I can without taking the whole weight of the world upon my shoulders. And fourth, I can't change people. I can't change the system. All I can do is try to live a peaceful life within the confines of the system. Yes, we have been dealt a blow. Not everyone, but the people who feel that what might, what will, only, I don't know, right? But to allow the circumstances to overwhelm you, to take away all your joy, to stop you in your track where you just stop breathing literally because you're so paralyzed by fear, is the wrong thing to do right now. Now, I've seen some people say, oh yes, we were heartbroken. Now it's time. What do you do the next day or the day after next day, right? Because you can't stay down. And being sad and process whatever feeling that you are feeling is healthy. It's good. And what I don't want you to do is just being flippant and say, oh, that didn't touch me at all. That didn't affect me at all. And that would be a lie, right? Because it's affecting all of us one way or another, positive or negative. So understand first that going through any loss requires you to process the loss and to go through all the stages of grief, which is anger, denial, bargaining. When you get to that point at the end, acceptance, right? And acceptance doesn't mean that you become apathetic, that you don't do anything. And that's not what it means. It means you've centered and you've analyzed and you've decided, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do. Therefore, I will do what I can within the limits of my capabilities, my circumstances. So you need to allow yourself to grieve whatever feeling you are experiencing right now. Joy, despair. Understand that it is a loss, not figuratively, right? Because when you look down and your mind starts playing tricks that, oh my God, this is going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Yes, it could, but then maybe not, right? So don't hang on to something that is not even real yet. So allow yourself to go through the grief and then decide when you get to the point of the acceptance point, what are you going to do? And this is where decisions come in. I'm not going to say, are you going to stay and fight? Because that's what a lot of people feel you should do. I don't know. This is going to be an individual decision. Some people have decided to get up and go. I personally feel that if you just hop and go, you are not allowing yourself the experience of experiencing grief. Because it could be that if you allow yourself to grieve, when you come on the other side, you may have a different perspective. Because any decision that is made in a hurry often carries risks and brings on regret. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is, whatever happens, don't rush into doing anything. Think it through after you've gone through the grieving process, right? But assess your situation. Next week, I'm coming with a video and I'm going to tell you what the title is, but it's going to give you a blueprint for some things that you might want to do, okay? The decision was made for me because I got out last year. I was way ahead of the curve, okay? But that does not mean I don't feel empathy for what you are feeling right now. And please don't feel like, oh, well, you feel safe because you're over there. Trust me, they're here too. Nobody is going to be spared, because the thing is, if you allow your mind to go crazy, to go where it does not need to go, you will fill your head and your mind and your heart with this grief and despair and anger and anxiety, all negative emotions. Yes, you can feel them temporarily, but you should not consume that for a long time. It's going to do damage. It's going to do damage. So please understand, I'm trying to encourage you to acknowledge the feelings you are experiencing right now. They are real. And like I used to always say, allow yourself to go through the pain. Okay? And I always refer to Psalm 23, when you walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Everything that happens in your life is on a continuum. You're not stuck in one place forever. Everybody walks through life like this. And in trying to keep yourself from feeling hopeless is your responsibility. It's not circumstantial. If you read the story of, I forgot what they call this guy in World War II, you know, he was captured and tortured and put in jail, but he kept himself going, and he hung onto hope and never allowed the despair to overtake him. Nelson Mandela, all those years he was in jail, he endured. So the capacity of the human being to rise against oppression and injustice is strong. I'm not saying you might come out of it like, smelling like a rose. I am not saying that. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, let us nurture hope. Because when you give in to your emotion, when you start living in fear, when you stop dead in your tracks and your life stops, then they've already won. Because you've given yourself over. You've given your hope over, your courage, the essence of who you are. I had a trip planned to come to Lima, Peru. And I'm like, I'm going on my trip. I am not going to stop my life because of whatever happens. Now, if the Lord puts me somewhere where I can't walk, I can't move, that's a different story. But circumstances to allow me to stop me from living my life, I will not allow that. So I'm continuing with my plans. And I would encourage you to do the same. Don't allow yourself to be paralyzed by fear. Start doing that evaluation. Start looking at your options. Start making some decisions for your life. And tune out anybody who would call you a sellout or whatever. Water. It's like, it doesn't stick, right? Because you can only be responsible for you. And because remember, if you're in a family, you may have other people looking at you, taking their cues from you to see how you react to things. Sometimes I talk about resilience and talk about courage, during the live, I was talking about those things. Well, this here that we're experiencing, that's going to test your resolve. It's going to test your resilience. It's going to test your courage. So you don't know when circumstances are going to come to test you, but they come. Are you ready? Will you pass the test? I am living my life. I am not letting circumstances stop me from living my life. And if I die living my life, then I die doing what I want to do. Not because I was changing because of what somebody does. So please be encouraged today. Understand that what happened is beyond our control. But again, like Chuck Swindoll says, 80% is going to depend on how we react to the situation. Others have gone through worse. Just close your eyes for a minute and think of what's happening around the world. Some people are going through a lot worse. And I think another thing I want to say, when we put our faith in mankind, when we hold them up to the standard of excellence, when we expect politicians to be moral, upright, when we raise the bar, that's when you get the broken heart, because they don't meet your expectation. In fact, they lower it way down here. And you have to get to the point and accept that is the human condition. And that human condition, boy, it's just changing right before our eyes. So if you keep thinking, oh, in my day, oh, before, oh, decades ago, this is how they did things. This is what we expected. This is how they behave. That's when you get hurt. because your standards for others, not you, your standards for yourself should be up here. But when you expect certain things from people, any people, and they don't meet that standard, that's when you get your heart broken. So if you don't, I'm not saying expect nothing from nobody. That's not what I'm saying. Again, this is a matter of guarding your heart. If you don't expect people to be perfect to live up to your standard, when they fall, the hurt is not going to be as grand. So learn to do that, so that when someone doesn't meet your standard, you just go, oh, it's the human condition. Don't just keep, ruminating this thing inside you that said, oh, I'm so hurt, I'm so disappointed, oh, I'm so hurt, I'm so disappointed. It's not going to do you any good, sis, sir. Okay? The last thing I'm going to say too is that we have to realize that life is fragile. Just like I used to say, God doesn't give us our children to own them. We only have them for a minute. We pour whatever we have in them. And when they disappoint you, they break your heart, you have to find a way to brush yourself off and go on. And not internalize, oh, what did I miss? It must have been something I did. Now, a lot of us don't do right by these kids, but a lot of us have done the best that we can. It's the same thing in life. Don't expect too high of people so you don't get disappointed. And don't think of life as this thing that you're hanging on to it. Life is fragile, guys. And none of us is going to live forever. And I think if you try to do putting all these things together, my new word is you're going to be centered. You're going to get your peace. No matter what happens. I'm not saying go look for trouble. That's not what I'm saying. But if it happens, I used to say, and I still say, if anything happens to me, it's because God allows it. It just makes it easier for me to accept if I say that. If I have a point of reference, something to hang on to say, I am not in control of me. I'm not in control of how long I live. I'm not in control of how I'm going to die. And however I die is because the universe allows it, then I'm okay with it. Let me tell you, you need to try to get to that point. Because when you do that, you take your power back. You snatch that power from that person who thinks that what he says, what he does is going to break you. You don't allow that to happen. Your resolve, your peace, your sense of who you are, they can't ever take that away from you. Remember that. So don't walk around with your head down. Don't start saying, woe is me, they won, therefore I'm going to, Take your power back. It's yours. Take it back. Don't give it to somebody else. This is what we are witnessing. People giving their minds away to some ideology. Don't let that happen to you in the reverse. Take your power back, sis. All right? I've already been speaking way longer than I anticipated, but I'm here in this cute little hotel. I have been planning to see what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I am living my best life, no matter what happens. Every day is a gift. Tomorrow is not promised. Don't be disappointed if you don't see tomorrow. Take your power back. All right. I will see you guys. God loves you. I love you. You know that. Au revoir. Let's keep it real. À la prochaine. Bye.